Hello. What are you doing Tuesday to Friday, 7:30 to 9 o'clock p.m. every day? You should be watching The Couch. I'll tell you why. On Tuesdays, we talk social issues, lifestyle, health, all those everyday issues that affect us in the big ways. Late Wednesdays are for book reviews. Thursdays are for the hard talk, those socio-economic, policy-oriented, political questions that demand for the tough questions to be asked. And personality profiling Fridays, when we get to know the stories behind the winning personalities we love. Inspirational story from inspirational personalities. Hey, listen, you really cannot miss The Couch with me, Amma, but still, the only TV show with a hat.
Polygamy does not know adultery. So you should
polygamy knows. I disagree.
Wait a minute.
Polygamy
Wait a minute.
If you are not 25, you have no business driving a commercial vehicle.
The only person who can take your driver's license and retain it must be a police officer of the rank of inspector and above.
Using office hours to engage in social media is a ground for you to be what? Dismissed.
When you are raped, you can justifiably walk into any government hospital or a licensed medical facility for an abortion.
A will takes effect only after the person is dead.
Pure cocaine is not addictive. What is addictive is when it's adulterated.
Join the Law Express panel this and every week as we delve into all these relevant topics.
Law Express, Mondays at 7:15 p.m. and a repeat on Thursdays at 5:45 p.m.
The Progressive Woman's Show is that space for frank, open, honest, provocative, perhaps even revolutionary conversations about today's woman.
If you go to the banking sector, there are people there who want to sleep with you before they give you a job. If you want to be a teacher, if you want to be a civil servant, there is someone who will say, oh, I can get it for you easily. All you have to do is drop your pen.
It was something that was demanded of me. My editor, my news editor in the newsroom, thought if I don't pull down my skirt, I was not going to be put on air.
I am yet to come into contact with anybody asking me to sleep with him to go on TV. I will not sleep with any man for a position. I will sleep with a man I want to sleep with for the pleasure of it.
When governments come to power and they say that the women are not showing dynamism and the women, for me all that, forgive my Latin, this time of the day, all that is bullshit.
I practice public speaking in church. Okay. I practice service in church. I practice leadership in church. So those are things that's why the church is important in our lives.
And that's how you do it. It's not buy Range Rover and do soccer day in church.
It takes me right there.
In church.
You mention Jesus, you don't have to say Jesus.
Well, they say it's a man's world out there, isn't it? Unfortunately, I don't know why, because we seem to be doing all the work. They are the head and we are the neck. Excuse me, can you be a head without a neck?
No, please. No, please.
Yeah.
Well, hey, ladies, let's continue to hold up the sky.
Hello, a very good evening to you, and you are welcome to the only show that brings you happenings from the diplomatic community in Ghana and around the world. Today's show is very special. Not to say that all the episodes that we have run are not special, they are, but today's show is very special because we will be talking about one of our flagship programs we have just launched, and it is dubbed A Night with the Diplomats, which took place at the Labadi Beach Hotel. Now, this is a collaboration between the Labadi Beach Hotel and, of course, our station, Pan-African Television. Remember, we are coming to you from the studios of Pan-African Television, and we are streaming in 46 African countries with a global audience via social media. So we are streaming live on YouTube and, of course, on Facebook as well. So you can join us so we can get interactive. If you have anything pertaining to what we will be showing today on your screens, you can share your messages, your thoughts, anything with me, and I will engage you. I'll read all of them right here on the show. My panelists will be joining me in a bit. Like I said, we will bring you the launch of A Night with the Diplomats, where a lot happened. Finally, we have an annual social diplomatic event which will take place every year. I can't wait to share all that took place at the launch with you. I will be back right after this break. Please stay with us.
Hello, what are you doing Tuesday to Friday, 7:30 to 9 o'clock p.m. every day? You should be watching The Couch. I'll tell you why. On Tuesdays, we talk social issues, lifestyle, health, all those everyday issues that affect us in the big ways. Next Wednesdays are for book reviews. Thursdays are for the hard talk, those social, economic, policy-oriented, political questions that demand for the tough questions to be asked. And personality profiling Fridays, when we get to know the stories behind the winning personalities we love. Inspirational stories from inspirational personalities. Hey, listen, you really cannot miss The Couch with me, Amma Pratt. Still, the only TV show with a hat.
Polygamy does not know adultery. So you
no,
should.
Polygamy knows. I disagree.
Wait a minute.
Polygamy
Wait a minute.
If you are not 25, you have no business driving a commercial vehicle.
The only person who can take your driver's license and retain it must be a police officer of the rank of inspector and above.
Using office hours to engage in social media is a ground for you to be what? Dismissed.
When you are raped, you can justifiably walk into any government hospital or a licensed medical facility for an abortion.
A will takes effect only after the person is dead.
Pure cocaine is not addictive. What is addictive is when it's adulterated.
Join the Law Express panel this and every week as we delve into all these relevant topics.
Law Express, Mondays at 7:15 p.m. and a repeat on Thursdays at 5:45 p.m.
The Progressive Woman's Show is that space for frank, open, honest, provocative, perhaps even revolutionary conversations about today's woman.
If you go to the banking sector, there are people there who want to sleep with you before they give you a job. If you want to be a teacher, if you want to be a civil servant, there is someone who will say, oh, I can get it for you easily. All you have to do is drop your pen.
It was something that was demanded of me. My editor, my news editor in the newsroom, thought if I don't pull down my skirt, I was not going to be put on air.
I am yet to come into contact with anybody asking me to sleep with him to go on TV. I will not sleep with any man for a position. I will sleep with a man I want to sleep with for the pleasure of it.
When governments come to power and they say that the women are not showing dynamism and the women, for me all that, forgive my Latin, this time of the day, all that is bullshit.
I practice public speaking in church.
Okay.
I practice service in church. I practice leadership in church. So those are things that's why the church is important in our lives.
And that's how you do it. It's not buy Range Rover and do soccer in church.
It takes me right
in church.
When you mention Jesus, you don't have to say Jesus.
But they say it's a man's world out there, isn't it? Unfortunately, I don't know why, because we seem to be doing all the work. They are the head and we are the neck. Excuse me, can you be a head without a neck?
No, please. No, please.
Yeah.
Well, hey, ladies, let's continue to hold up the sky.
Right, so you welcome back. This is the only show that brings you happenings from the diplomatic community in Ghana and around the world. My name is Harriet Nartey. Today's show is very special. Like I mentioned earlier, my two guests will be helping me to do the talking about the launch of a night with the diplomats, which took place on Tuesday, recently, a few days ago. On Tuesday, today is Saturday, a few days ago. And it was massive. It was well patronized. It had the right crowd. We were able to put the right message out there. And we are super excited because this platform would not have been possible without you. And so we always think about you. I always think about you, and I want you to be part of what we do. That is the whole idea of Diplomatic Affairs, where we connect you to happenings in the diplomatic community. So we get you to know who is here in our country and for what reason are they here for. We get to know all of it, and also we talk about bilateral and multilateral relations between Ghana and its development partners, bringing you happenings from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and regional integration as well. So anything that has to do with foreign policy, international relations, you name it, that is our business. Thank you very much for making time to join me. I'm sure you might have seen the flyer or the artwork circulating by now. We are trending. Thank you very much. I have two people. First, he is already seated, and I'm waiting for my boss, Amaprat. So Amaprat will be joining us shortly. But let me just go straight to Kobi Che. I'm sure the name rings a bell, right? Yes, it does. So Kobi Che is a blogger, and he does a fantastic job, or he is doing a fantastic job. Everybody knows Kobi Che, and of course beyond the borders of our country, because of what he does. He even goes to the extent of visiting the rural parts of the country and reporting on issues, you know, issues that are of interest to national interest, and of course, everybody knows him for that. And so I am happy because he will be telling us about why he was at the launch of a night with the diplomats. And of course, why it is so important for him to pay attention to this direction when it comes to diplomacy, because he knows a lot of the diplomats as well. He has a solid relationship with them. I don't even want to say much, but I'm excited that if I don't welcome you, I'm going to keep talking. Kobi, thank you so much for coming.
I'm super humbled.
It's good to see you.
See you again. You're looking good.
Oh, you are looking so smart in your African wear.
Big shout out to Nikwe.
Oh, I love it. 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 So, what's happening? You are all over in the news. First, let's talk about the National Communication Award. You took the Online Personality Award, and of course, recently, a few days ago, you were also honored with the Excellence Award for the most influential blogger. Stroke vlogger.
Yes.
So you will school me today. You tell me the difference between vlogging and blogging.
Exactly.
Yes. Tell me about it. How do you feel?
Thank you. I want to say a very good evening to the people streaming from the diaspora, yourself, your crew, and everyone watching, family, and everybody. I mean, happy Xmas in advance to everyone.
Merry Christmas to you too.
Thank you. So, first off, I thank God for how far He's brought me. The journey hasn't been easy. I mean, my slogan goes like, always I keep saying, polish till you shine. I mean, a boy from a village in a central region of Aguna Duakwa who perceived and determined to be in the media space. And I mean, if you are curious to know, I don't even have any media background. I never had the opportunity to go to GIJ, or I have music education background. But when I was growing up, I had so much passion for media, and so nevertheless, I mean, after completing my university education, I still said that there are a lot of opportunities online. So why don't I just read and just do some research? I went into blogging, and I started blogging, and I chose the positive direction. Because you notice that a lot of people are so much into sensationalism,
controversial issues,
controversy, and misleading headlines and all that. So I started out to say that, look, even though we still have the perception that negative sells, there are a section of Ghanaians out there who wake up every morning to look at the positive things that are happening. We are about 30 million.
Right.
Are you telling me that every Ghanaian loves controversy?
No.
And there's this misconception about the fact that when these people, these content creators post this content, they get a lot of views and the numbers. And so it makes you, the consumer, believes, or the people outside believes that these are the people, I mean, getting the numbers, they're doing a good job.
Right.
But there's a clear difference between you watching the content and consuming it. You understand?
Yeah.
Because if you watch, let's say, a twerking video, if you watch some silly content on Facebook, YouTube, and it has the numbers, guess what? The people have just watched it. But have you asked yourself, how are they consuming it?
Yeah. What's the impact?
What's the impact? Are they consuming it in a more negative or in a more positive way? What are you as a content creator also in reflection giving back to society? Because we are free lancers, there are no ethics, people are not adding ethics to
we are not
profession.
guided.
Exactly. And so it looks as if everybody's just doing what they like. But I chose that path where I believe in, number one, impacting, and also making sure that I create a network where I can connect with diplomats.
I know.
Exactly.
I love that.
Yes.
I love that.
So to
I
relate
love
to
that.
I mean, if you are followed me, you know that my circle is different. And so people were not shocked, people were not surprised that I won online personality of the year because of my circle and what I stand for. So I'm super humble to event organizers. I keep saying that over the years, because our schemes are business oriented, and so you see people working so much, then I mean, someone out there will just use money to influence the decision of the public. And so anytime I get nominated, I thank God Almighty for even first they nominating me. Aside that, I also always want to plead on event organizers or their award scheme that at the end of the day, let's look at the bigger picture. Because if you're going to nominate someone who is not giving quote unquote good content, if you're going to adjust the person as
rewarding negativity,
exactly, as
no
a best blogger, it means that when someone is coming to Ghana and Google that I want to meet the best blogger, this is the person you have the whole nation as crowned. Exactly, that's a reflection. So let's also do the needful. Even though business is good, let's also do the needful of awarding people who are creating change
for their good works.
For their good works.
Kobe, you have said it all. I have nothing to add to this. In fact, I think we share some views. We have some views. We share some views in common. I'm excited that you are coming from this direction because the perception out there, always the perception out there is that people who do blogging are always about negativity.
Gossip.
If it is not sensational and it is not controversial, you won't find them there.
Exactly.
And to be honest with you, this is my personal experience that I am sharing. With with all humility, I hardly do I see bloggers at the places that I go for content. Like you said, journalism is broad and we are all citizen journalists. At the end of the day, we don't need any certificate before we can practice journalism. But we do know that we have the professionals. At least the professionals are there to guide the people, citizen journalists, in putting their messages out there to the people. So at the end of the day, that's why you see people who are reporting in humanitarian issues. You find others who are also doing social issues, politics. It's broad, exactly. And we have chosen diplomacy because governance hinges on diplomacy.
Exactly.
I mean, there are exchanges every now and then. And I've always said one of my favorite personal sayings that I have couched is, even the price of kinky is influenced by diplomacy, because decisions might have been made from the top, trickling down to the tomato seller,
Makes a lot of
trickling down to my mother who trades by the roadside, to everybody's life. So diplomacy hinges to governance hinges on diplomacy, and it is important that everyone begins to just pay attention. We are not asking you to consume the technicalities involved in that area, but at least the basics.
Exactly.
We have to make it our business to know who is representing Ghana in other jurisdictions and make their business our business by knowing what they are doing in the interest of the country. And that is why we find ourselves here, because we see what other diplomats are doing in this country. The French ambassador has a program which promotes the interest of France. Exactly, right? Yes. So even if you didn't like France, now your interest, your mind, or you would begin to change your perception. Or your views.
I traveled there. I think I came back. Yes,
I heard that.
It was all because
because you were taken to go and bring content to the good people of Ghana. So they invested in you to come back with a story and tell the story of France. Why? Because they need that relationship. It's supposed to be a win-win situation for us. And I do pray. I know that our leaders are doing fantastic. We've seen a lot of positive, positivity in the system, but we still have a long way to go. So I do believe that we can continue to partner and win together in all things. So that is great. You were at the launch of a night with the diplomats. Yes. Again, which is why in a way, I find it very interesting, because you don't see bloggers in those areas. Like I said, you would find someone blogging if you want to show your boobs to trend to get the numbers. You get someone to do that for you in the name of blogging. Let me ask you this: do you have any professional attachment to this particular area that you find yourself in? Do you have people training you, as in professional coming on board, professionals coming on board to train you with regard to how it should be ethically done, professionally done in terms of blogging? I've seen a lot of events, Bloggers Association and all of that.
I mean, there's nothing like Bloggers Association though. Okay. But it all starts from the mindset, where you're coming from and where you want to go. And again, self-discipline. I've not, had any formal education in regards to how I should behave or how I should go about my content. But I sit down quietly, and for me, I learn a lot and I read a lot online, and I have my own direction. One of the biggest problems we have as Africans, youth, is finding our purpose. You notice that a lot of people go to the universities, they go to schools and they complete, and they've still not discovered their purpose. So I was able to discover my purpose, and I was able to work at it. Yeah. And in a more professional way, whether I have any formal or informal, the mindset is to create impact and positivity. And so it has changed my circles. If you wake up in the morning and you are thinking about negativity online, guess what? You go online and you meet negative content. People will go like, Kobe, where do you get some of your content? Because we struggle to get to them. And I'm like, I wake up thinking about positive stuff. And so positive things
come to you. All right. So I'm enjoying this conversation already. And of course, I've started the conversation with Kobe Che. He is a blogger, very influential one. And of course, he has carved a niche for himself in that area. And we are super excited because we have something in common. So we have him on the show to discuss. At the end of the day, our focus is going to be the launch of a night with the diplomats. I will take a break to welcome my guest, my boss, and when she's seated, then we can continue with the conversation. Please remember, we are on YouTube and of course on Facebook, and we have the number on your screen, so you can send us a message. Anything at all you want us to discuss relating to diplomatic affairs. We are here. I'll be back after the break.
Hello, what are you doing Tuesday to Friday, 7:30 to 9 o'clock p.m. every day? you should be watching The Couch. I'll tell you why. On Tuesdays, we talk social issues, lifestyle health, all those everyday issues that affect us in the big ways. Late Wednesdays are for book reviews. Thursdays are for the hard talk, those socio-economic, policy-oriented, political questions that demand for the tough questions to be asked. And Personality Profiling Fridays, when we get to know the stories behind the winning personalities we love. Inspirational story from inspirational personalities. Hey, listen, you really cannot miss The Couch with me, Amma Pratt. Still, the only TV show with a hat.
Right, so welcome back. He's still watching Diplomatic Affairs with me, Harriet Nartey, and we are streaming live on Pan-African television. Like I told you, we are in over 40 African countries, and of course with a global audience via social media, Facebook and on YouTube. So join us now if you cannot access your TV. I mean, TV is on the go these days, so you can watch us wherever you are. So join us. We're having a very interesting conversation. So we are talking about diplomacy, international relations, foreign policy, and all of that, but with a particular focus to the launch of a night with the diplomats. You can call it the diplomatic ball. That's fine, because that's what we aspire to achieve at the end of the day. You have spoken and we have heard you, and so we did everything we could to put together this project. That's going to be one of our flagship projects. But we are not doing this alone. You know, this is an African television. It is a Pan-African television content. We churn out the best positive content always right here on this station. So this is a collaboration with a Pan-African television station, and of course the Labadi Beach Hotel. They have our back all day, anytime, every time we need them. They will be there for us. And so I have my general manager. I told you, my boss will be joining us on the show. My boss will be joining us on the show. She's here, finally, and she's seated. Hello, Amma.
Hi, Harriet.
It's good to see you. You should have been hosting the show.
Which one?
This one.
Why?
Because I can get to sit here and just talk and relax.
No. Harriet, when it comes to diplomatic affairs, there's nobody on the face of this earth, who can do a better job than the Harriet Nartey, right?
Thank you very much. Well, you're welcome to Diplomatic Affairs. It's good. This is the first time we are having her on the show, so we are excited. I'm excited too. Now, let's talk about this beautiful relationship between Diplomatic Affairs and Pan-African television. You wouldn't believe it. It's already a year since we started this relationship. Exactly, already a year. It was a year in November. This past November, it's December already, and it looks like we are still counting. And to be honest with you, it's not because you are sitting here. Everybody who knows me can tell that I'm excited, and I have a free space to operate within. And I think that is what every individual needs. When you have a good boss who trusts you, they are not afraid to entrust their space into your hands because they know you can manage it and manage it well. And so here we are, 1 year, and we are still counting. So we have gotten to the stage of eventually, finally introducing our flagship, one of our flagship programs. So we have lots of them lined up, Kobe. So we are talking about the launch of a night with the diplomats. A lot of people want to call it as diplomatic ball. I said, that's fine by me. I don't have a problem. What is keeping us going?
Oh, goodness. I think you asked the question and then you answered the question all in the same breath. Because it's just like a relationship between the parents and the child, isn't it? If you trust enough, you're able to let go and relax. So the freedom that you speak about, I think it's something that you've earned for yourself. So nobody here is worried about diplomatic affairs or Harriet or the team that handles it, because everybody here knows that. And when I say everybody, I don't mean just myself. I have my bosses too. You know, there's a board to answer to, and a very strict board at that. But, you know, there's comfort. You know, everybody understands how passionate, Harriet, you are about this project. And I said it at the launch. It's not everybody that gets an opportunity, you know, has it served, it's ready to eat, and still goes back into the kitchen, which is what I see every day. You know, it's a big step to go back to school. We all know once you are done, you want to be done. That's why we have a whole pageantry about graduation.
Right.
So for you to even decide to go back to school to sort of crystallize, you know, what you are doing already, the practices that you're already in, even that by itself is, you know, and the commitment, the passion. I see you are here. Sometimes from Wednesday, preparing for one show on Saturday, that's serious commitment. So everybody is relaxed. But that's not even what it is. What it is really is that here at Pan-African TV, and Harriet, you know this, we are not interested in just TV for its sake. That's not what we are doing here. Here, we understand the depths, you know. Let me say this well. There's this saying that it's not about how high you rise. It's the depths from where you are sort of rising from. So we appreciate, you know, perhaps on this continent, in this global world, we appreciate the depths from where the African is coming from. Let's never forget our history. You know, we have over 100 years of slavery, and it's not just physical slavery, it's mental slavery. We are still living in slavery today. Today we can talk about new colonialism and all these things. And so we understand, perhaps more than everybody else, the depths from where we are coming from. So we know, you know, perhaps how hard we need to work, how harder we need to work, how much more we need to paddle under the surface, even if on the surface it looks good and clean. And so we are very particular about the kind of programs that we do, because beyond sort of emancipating the mind, it's also just showing that the African is here, is ready, and deserves a seat at the table, essentially. So especially on the global front, especially there, we need to be here, you know. And diplomatic affairs, from where I sit, is a statement. It's how, as Africans, we also show that we engage. And so for you to sort of have a concept of a night with diplomats and decide to do a diplomatic ball, my goodness, when so many countries haven't even thought about that. You know, this is something that happens in 1, 2, 3 so-called developed, goodness forgive me, I'm on diplomatic. I'm you talking like that. You know, forgive me, Harriet, I'll do better. You are the diplomat, I'm not. No, that's okay. But yeah, so, you know, for me, it shows the growth of the African. It shows that we are ready, we are here, we can engage at your level, you know. And so it's very important. You know that here we are big on socialism, big on emancipating the mind, we are big on, you know, everything progressive. But then there's another side. You can't live in a bubble. You can't sort of exclude yourself all the time. You need to engage. You need to engage globally. And oftentimes, even on the superficial personal level, how do Africans behave? We behave from a place of, you know, hey, you know, that's how we are, that's who we are, that's how we portray ourselves. And so for me, this was a statement. It was a very important statement to make. And it was so, for lack of a better, more wordy expression, laudable. The day you told me, I was in my mind, I was screaming. I don't know how I presented. I can't remember. But in my mind, I was like, whoa, you know, because it's important. It's very, very important. And it's important that it's happening now. So, you know, Harriet, hey, what can I say? Pan-African TV is not just on board. We are thrilled, excited, give me words, you know, to be part of this. It's a great initiative, Harriet. I can't say enough. You know, how, I wonder how your brain works, actually. I wonder what goes on in your mind. But it's amazing what goes on there. And you have amazing partners. Let me just say that, you know, Labadi Beach, you know,
solidly
on
behind
our
us.
side as Pan-African
Yes.
TV.
Amazing.
Is there a percentage more than 100? We are on board. Totally.
Right.
on board.
Thank you very much. We are equally excited about this initiative. Like I said, the people have spoken and we have heard them. I receive tons of calls almost every day, if not messages via social media, like my personal platforms, social media platforms, on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter, and on LinkedIn. And sometimes I don't know how they get my number, even though my number is if you want to reach me, it's not really difficult when you want to reach out to me. I receive calls and people are very much because two parties involved, and most of them are very accessible. They are very, very accessible. It's not really difficult getting in touch with them.
For you.
Well, sometimes all I need, if I'm looking for a particular ambassador or high commissioner or a diplomat that I can't reach out to, I don't have, for starters, I don't have access to them. I would look for them on social media and I'll send a personal message, like a direct message to them. And once I introduce myself, they get back to me and they send their contacts to me. But I always like to go through the right way of doing things. I mean, even though I have their contacts, I still go through the normal way of doing things, you know. So I think that at the end of the day, we have accomplished so much because we want to serve the people. That is why we decided to put this program together, so they can equally access the people that we have access to meet them and talk about the businesses and all the opportunities. I would want us to, Kobe was talking about, so we were talking before you joined us, we were talking about churning out good contents, you know, on our platforms. And of course, not just Pan-African television, but the need for bloggers, you know, in quotes, bloggers, journalists, citizen journalists to always make sure that they have the right information to share. So they can educate and inform the general public.
It's everything. It's Chinua Achebe who said that as an African writer, he always feels a burden. It's as though he's walking with a burden on his shoulder. He feels he needs to tell our stories, perhaps in a way that other continents do not need to. Like he has a burden. And I feel as though perhaps that's what's missing, you know, now. We don't seem to realize that the importance of telling our stories and telling them well. We don't seem to understand that it's connected to everything. It's about our economy, you know, it's about our identity as a people. It's about everything. It's sort of central, you know, because who you are is everything. That's the beginning and the end. It's who you are.
Yes.
You know, so I feel that burden, you know, and I can say on authority that Pan-African TV feels that burden. That's why, for instance, you will not catch us showing a telenovela.
Right.
Absolutely not.
Right, but even let me just add something to that before we show the visuals from the event. I was in India, I was in China. These two places, I never saw anything like any telenovela representing Africa. Let me zoom into Ghana.
Right.
But so my question is, we are talking, that's part of cultural diplomacy. Right. It's okay for us to emulate other people's identity once in a while, because that shows that we integrated solidarity at the end of the day. But in cases where we are not winning, we are on the other side, and we are always constantly seen projecting other people's values, traditions, culture. Where is ours? Why are we not equally pushing putting something together and presenting who we are to the outside world as well. That way, that becomes a win-win situation. But when it's just one way, then you know that there is something amiss. And I think that that's what we need to work at. It's a cultural diplomacy is a beautiful thing, right? That's relations between people or countries at the end of the day. So on that note, I am so eager to show to the world what we put together and what we are going to be doing every year around this time when it's time for a night with the diplomats. So if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's show the visuals.
Again, we are absolutely delighted to host this evening, a night with the diplomats. Very, very special for us. I think it's very special for Ghana, who are so much part of Ghana is today, and I salute you, ladies and gentlemen, for that. We are absolutely proud of that. So I'm going to spend the next hour and 5 minutes telling you all about Labadi Beach Hotel. So I hope you brought some snacks with you. Plenty of wine and so, but now, as a matter of fact, what I would like you to know is that Labadi Beach is one of those properties, and it's actually funny that it's 30 years this year that Labadi Beach opened its doors this year. We're very proud of that. You know what the real cool thing is that 20% of our staff actually opened this hotel 30 years ago. So when you step into our reception and so forth, you're stepping into a lot of our staff's front room, our living rooms, and so forth. So we are extremely proud to be sharing this year with all these new things that happen with the diplomatic corps. So thank you very much for that.
Traditionally, diplomats are conservative. You don't want to be seen on TV or be heard because, you know the rules of the trade. But she has been pushing to the frontiers for us to be open and, engage the Ghanaian community. So she's been doing a good job. Remember that she's been knocking on our doors and most diplomats don't want to speak. And I think the diplomatic community in Ghana, they are doing a fantastic job. They go on the program, they express their views on several issues. And it's educative because most Ghanaians are not aware of what we do. They think all we do is to drink the champagnes and the wines and that's it. But that's not it. We do a lot. Most of the development projects in Ghana, were initiated by diplomats. So we thank her for what she's doing and we'll continue to support her. Ambassador Dike Osei, who is the chairman on the Committee of Foreign Relations. And then Ambassador Kwabena Osei Dankwa. They are our seniors and they give the guidance and then we all follow. So she's under their tutelage and I think she's doing a wonderful job. We'll continue to support her as a ministry and also to support the diplomatic community to make sure that whatever they have as an objective, they're able to achieve it.
And to celebrate a very dynamic young lady who has assisted the diplomatic community in translating what we will call public diplomacy. Jim Dyer was saying that conservatively, we like to negotiate behind doors. But as he also knows, diplomacy has changed so very much that we are all having to confront the new tools, particularly the ICT tools, including television. So Harriet is beginning to understand our trade. And we're glad as a council to be able to assist. As many of the ambassadors will know, our council is the only think tank on foreign policy. And the Colombian ambassador will tell you that we've had extensive discussions on what we do. We've had the opportunity to meet a number of the ambassadors. I will continue and we will open our platform to the missions which are interested. In fact, my friend, the Swiss ambassador, was at my residence not too long ago. We've had a series of engagements, about 20 of them, on all kinds of policies. The latest open one was with Professor Ule Shoika. And in fact, tomorrow we have another one on the African Union's responses to emerging threats in Africa. And we have the political commissioner, the new one for the African Union, addressing the conference, as usual, it's by Zoom. And we'll be now inviting all the missions to join us.
I want to thank my sister for providing a media space because most people don't know what diplomats do. You know, they see them on TV, they see them, cutting swords, they see them, doing what they do. But when people have the opportunity to hear them and understand that they play a critical role in every nation's development and what every nation's character is, I feel that that becomes a knowledge base that helps a community to really be insightful about the various power, systems that help a nation thrive and work. So for you to create a medium like that, to inform the general public, to educate the general public, I feel that it's something that is innovative and also welcome. And I want to use this opportunity. It's your birthday tomorrow. So I want to first of all say happy birthday, but at the same time we want to use this great opportunity to celebrate this incredible country and what it has done to offer such a night of people, leaders from different countries representing different ideas, philosophies, all gathered in this room just because of the initiative that you took. So, God bless you.
Viewpoints of the world. This was necessary because I have always been of the view that for some reasons, even the price of a kenke is influenced by diplomacy. Ask me how, and I'll tell you. Therefore, it was time we understood the basic dynamics of diplomacy in the simplest terms. Hence, the birth of Diplomatic Affairs TV, which airs every Saturday at 4 p.m. on Pan-African television. It is a live show as well. Now, we are happy to pave way for other media institutions to begin to see the essence of contributing to discussions with regard to diplomacy, just as it is said in our local parlance that enam dodo ensem coin, which literally means the more fish or meat there is in a sauce, the better, or soup, the better. Well, today is special, just as 4 years ago when we identified a problem and engineered a solution to that problem. Now, since the inception of the show, Diplomatic Affairs, I have personally been inundated with calls and meetings from people who desire audience with heads of the various missions to either discuss opportunities of all kinds that are of mutual interest or in need of a piece of information to at least facilitate their next move. Right, so yes, there you have it. Finally, it's official. The launch of a night with the diplomats is here to stay. The launch of a night with the diplomats is here to stay. This is going to be an annual social diplomatic event that would connect the public, the Ghanaian community, and of course the diplomatic community, bring them together. You can meet all these diplomats. If you have any ideas, if you are looking for opportunities, you have direct access to them. And of course, you can pose questions to them and they will be ready, willing to answer all your questions. So this is going to be an event that will happen every year around this time. It will be, happening. All right, so let me go to Kobe. We've already said a lot at length. We've talked about blogging positively, and we've also highlighted the fact that it is not always that you find negative items, news items selling. And so stories should be devoid of controversies and sensationalism and all of that. So we need to begin, if it is supposed to be presented in a positive way, let's make that effort by presenting the story in a positive way to ginger the Ghanaian people and of course the African people to begin to look within, and of course re-engineering of minds as well. Let me ask you, in your view, what do you think, how much of an impact is this event, A Night with the Diplomats, how much of an impact is it going to make in the country and beyond?
Thank you. Number one is to create an identity for ourselves. Because Amma was talking about the fact that this is something of a kind, and I've not seen other countries doing it, trying to create the coordination, that relationship between, other diplomats coming together. So whilst on the night, when I was sitting down and hearing them speak back to back, and I was like, this is a great initiative. There's actually a lot of things you can also improvise within that space. If you're going to brainstorm carefully with your team, you know that even apart from just the night, there's a lot of activities you can even run from maybe a week then to the main event. And so you notice that the bigger picture of this whole Night with the Diplomats is, number one, like I said, it's going to make an impact. Number one, create that identity and also relationship with people. Because and I think you said, there's a perception that even when people saw me, the pictures with the diplomat, they were like, hey. So we still have that mentality that we can approach these people. But they are here for us. We are there for them.
Yes.
The more reason why they came here is to come and create that relationship, to know what is going on in our country and how we can also benefit. It's like I said, win-win situation. So what are we doing to create that environment? That is number one. That environment where everybody will feel at ease. The fact that these people also came there and you saw them dancing, eating,
mingling,
gave another perception that they love Ghana.
Yeah. They said it.
You understand?
Yeah.
And so for you, this is a great initiative and will go a long way. And I'm telling you today that don't give up on this project. A lot of countries will start doing what they are doing. You can mark it. A lot of countries will start doing what they are doing because of the environment you've created. I've forgotten their name. One of the ambassador said that she came at a period, I think, is it like
that's Rwanda, the Rwandan High Commissioner to Ghana.
COVID, and you saved her, you see that thing. And so again, one of the things we can also do with this whole night with the diplomats is also telling our story. Because when you are coming to Ghana, and it will link into my profession as a blogger, they go on the internet to read.
Yeah. To know about Ghana.
To know about Ghana. They visit blogs. So what is the story? What is the story? What are you telling?
Yeah.
Where am I going?
You understand? So funny enough, I keep saying, if you're watching me, you can, anytime I'm out on any platform, I say, just Google SHS girls in Ghana. You notice that all the images that come out are news, kissing, twerking. So if an ambassador is coming to Ghana, and he or she wants to do something in connection with high schools, and he jumps on the internet and he sees some of these images as a blogger, as media personnel, because funny enough, when you go to some of these countries, they're even doing the worst, but hardly will you even find it on the internet. Type high school girls in UK. They are doing research, they are doing whatever, positive things.
I feel bad. Kobe, it's okay. I feel bad.
Let me go.
I know, it's okay. It's okay. I believe authorities are watching, and of course, this is one of the platforms that we have the right people monitoring every now and then for the purpose of information.
Exactly.
And so I am very happy that you are pointing out some of the problems that we should begin to pay attention to. I am very, very disappointed, especially with the SHS girls in Ghana.
The first time I saw that, I posted that everybody was like, yo. So what is the media doing?
We have a serious role to play.
We don't have an agenda.
But you see, Kobe, it goes a little beyond the media to all of us. It's the things that we make trend that stick on the internet. Because if you do a Google search, there are other things. I mean, there's 1, 2, 3 down there. Eventually, we even get to 100 if there's more information. But the ones that will pop up first are the ones that go viral, the ones that everybody is clicking to read, everybody is checking to read. And this is what I also say all the time when I have the opportunity. I say all the time that we tend to sit back and criticize and never look to the parts that we, not as media, not as bloggers, but as citizens, play in all of this. If these are the things that excite us as Ghanaians, SS girls twerk, and everybody's rushing there to go and watch, that is what would stick. I mean, it's
I mean, she confirmed that a lot of these things happen, but don't jump on internet because most of the parents are also teaching their children to be responsible online citizens.
Delete, don't share. That's
you understand?
That's
because
it. Delete, don't share.
For instance, Amma, you have kids. You tell them that they should be online. They should be responsible online citizens. Now, the thing is that the same way when you're not around, they know consciously that they are not supposed to watch this program. They are not supposed to touch the remote. After 2, they are not supposed to watch. If you're able to train your children to be all responsible online citizens, they know that mommy said we shouldn't go on Facebook at this time. Mommy said that. So we, like you said, citizens, what are we doing? Because if we don't take care, it will be like a generation from generation, and the things that we are talking about, your case will come and complain.
Nothing will change.
Nothing will change.
Okay, great. I'm excited. It looks like, so will I be right to state that it looks like patriotism is somehow missing when it comes to the role that we ought to play as citizens?
I think it's true.
All right.
Because these days, people go like, yo, let me even use the local dialects. I mean, Ghana, media.
Yeah.
Ghana is not mine. You see someone projecting something. I mean, I started something this year, the beginning of this year, History Tuesday. And I noticed that bloggers, some bloggers, we are not really telling the history. The younger generation are not saying the history. So I started going back into time to dig into some of the things Kwame, and I see you guys doing that a lot. What Kwame Nkrumah said this year at this time.
The spirit of patriotism.
Yes, and I share all those things. A Ghanaian in UK sent me money for that content that I keep sharing up because he feels that in the US or in the UK, the media is not telling the African story.
Because nobody will tell our story. That is why we have Pan-African television. And
so
for us, we have a role to play. which is why Amma stated that this is what we are here for. To tell the African story at the end of the day.
You guys are always
so you won't find certain content on the platforms of Pan-African television. You won't find religious, no offense to anybody, but you won't find certain materials when it comes to content on this platform, because it's all about Africanism, promoting the spirit of Africanism in the African people at the end of the day. That's why when we put this platform together, what we always wanted, or we are guided by the fact that tell us what you are doing in our country. What are we also doing in your country? Are we just taking from you, or is it are we exchanging?
And Harriet, that goes straight and directly to this issue about impact that you spoke about with this program. It goes there directly because it's also a cultural exchange program by itself. You know, on that night we engaged. Even the way we presented. You saw the people came dressed. There were some of the diplomats who came looking traditional. You know, I came in my ATL fabric. You know, you came in a fabric as well. So just being present in the space that evening itself is a cultural exchange. You know, something would connect. Like when it was time to sort of propose the toast, and Renee did that. Obviously, some aspects of his culture would seep through. You would see it. I'm guessing that perhaps next year, if you give somebody else from another country the opportunity to propose the toast or respond to the toast, something else would seep up. And it shows in everything that we do. You remember that the friend to the South African ambassador quickly prompted us when I said, oh, it's a few hours to your bed. She said, no, actually, in South Africa,
it's already the celebration. Exactly.
I learned something just by being there.
Exactly.
Immediately, I learned something about the traditional, you know, setup of the South African. I learned. And it's not everything that you can learn in the classroom. In fact, a lot of the things that matter in life, you don't learn in the classroom. You know, so just by being present and by being in the room, it's cultural exchange. You learn there and then. So for me, like Kobe said, the impact is like a big tree with so many branches and so many leaves. You can do with the space what you want. Like I left a couple of, you know, core cuts, hair. You can do with the space what you want. It's really up to you. But then beyond that,
what do you do with it?
Even beyond that, Harriet, just being present, you will learn.
Even if you don't.
I learned. It
just
changed.
being present.
That night, trust me, I learned a lot. From the way they were behaving, they were smiling. I was like, yo, I'm happy to be among like this. I'm happy among, and I was just exchanging contacts and all that.
I am so happy.
Exactly. So I think that should be the big appetite.
So that's the essence of a night with the diplomats. You know, that's an opportunity. So you take it. What you do with it is up to you.
Exactly.
Right. But the point really, and you were saying earlier that, you know, you can warn us like, it's only you. Because really, how many people have access to diplomats? Where are you going to see them? Where? No, seriously, where? In traffic? Or in a shop? Because you know that they have their own shops that they, you know, they literally, even for them as diplomats, they literally live in a bubble within this community. Because there are places set up for them. They have their own duty-free shops. They have schools that they take their kids that the rest of us cannot afford. You know, that's the truth. Why are you going to meet him? Why are you going to meet her? So this is a great opportunity for learning, for us, for them as diplomats also, because they need to also engage with the people. Not
and
just
how they get information.
And ambassadors,
that's work for them. That is work for them.
Absolutely.
Yes. So that's how they get information. That's how they learn about us even the more. And that's how they get to know who we are and what we truly are.
Eat our food.
Exactly. You remember? Ambassador Michael Quay said, an ambassador or a representative of a particular country can get you to change your mind about the country. If you were not a fan of that particular country, they can influence you to begin to love their culture, to begin to... You are in France. Why were you in France? I ask again. Why? It's to come and share the French experience with your people. And by that way, you get to move our minds to what is in France. So the next time I'm looking for any opportunity, I could... You are like my go-to person. Yes. What were you doing in France?
You see, the point is that France wasn't even part of the countries, I mean, I dreamt to visit.
Right.
But with the connection program that Anne Sophie,
yes,
the
of
French
course,
ambassador,
you know, she was on the show,
yes. And her program is structured in the way that she will tell you about the music, the entertainment side of France, the food, tourism. And so look at the people that consciously she's been able to feed their mind about France.
Yeah, music and everything.
Music, everything.
That's, and you know how they call that one is soft power diplomacy.
Right.
So you don't have to do the, you know, government to government. So you use the simplest things. Oh, you use the simplest things. But that works a lot. That works a lot. One time, Ambassador Dike was saying, let me just reference him. One time he shared a story with me. He told me that they were looking for an opportunity to see somebody very important from another country. I think the head of that country, that's the president of that country. But they could not. They could not. But apparently somebody knew, I think somebody, a footballer or a soccer player in this country knew the son of that president and they were friends. So how did they do it? They used this person, this footballer, Ghanaian footballer, to link up, spoke with the son of this president, and then they got the business done. So that's soft power diplomacy. Sometimes it works. That's why they say sometimes there are people you are looking for, you can't find them in their offices. You need to find out where they hang. That's where you would meet them. Informal settings. And it works like magic.
Good. I think if I have to add to what you said, so there were, I mean, you have two great artists in France. So they needed to collaborate with some African artists. And Anne Sophie was able to connect these guys. And now, as we speak, they have songs with Sarkodie, Stoneboy, Fameye, Gasmila. They came to Ghana to have a concert. Paris in France, Paris in Accra concert at Alliance Française.
Yes.
And it was massive.
Yes.
So you see the connection.
Right.
So next year they are thinking of doing Accra in Paris.
So that is what? Diplomacy. Show-based diplomacy is big. It looks like it is what most of the countries are using to penetrate through, you know, countries to get the people that they are looking for.
You can do a lot, from entertainment to tourism.
There is so much that we can do together. Yes, yeah, and I'm happy you are not a stranger to this house.
Oh.
So, and you live Africa so well.
I'm always there. I think you guys gave me my first appearance.
Yes. Well, it's your last words. So finally, let me say that. Let me be emphatic. Let me state that a night with the diplomats is here to stay.
Yes.
And it's for you. It's not for us. It's for you. Because I receive messages, calls, and I can share in your frustration. And I want you to equally have that access that we have to the diplomatic community. And so we are creating an enabling environment for you to meet them, share ideas, draw with them, get to know who they are, and of course get them to also be interested in who we are and our values and all of it. You know, so this is it. Here we are. It's going to happen every year around this time. We will bring the diplomatic community right to your door so you can communicate and connect with them. So here we are. It's official. We should have toasted, you know. I bring my champagne. I received lots of gifts. Minus Kobe's gift, though. Yeah, and my boss's gift as well. What? The presents. Come in.
Birthday gift,
right.
Right.
I know they will come.
God bless you.
Let me take your final words. Let me take your final words. Amma.
Well, Harriet, this is a great initiative. I can't, you know, overemphasize on how great an initiative this is. And Kobe was just, you know, sort of drawing your mind to how broad this can be, you know, to how you can make it a week-long festival and things like that. I was laughing because I have had the conversation. Yes. And I know where this is going to go. Exactly. Trust me, it's massive. I mean, in Harriet's mind, and of course, like you are saying, all of us are here, you know, to give as much support as we can. The point for me is that talking is okay. You see, talking is okay. Every Saturday you come here, you do diplomatic affairs for an hour. You bring the diplomats, you have a conversation. They go, it's okay. But you see, the most important thing is the action. And for me, this then becomes the action.
Right.
This is the fruit of all the years of work.
Exactly.
You know, it's like the moment. It's like diplomatic affairs over the years sort of had to all come together for this moment.
Right.
I'm so happy and so excited that I got to be a part of the moment.
The first
edition, you know. My Charlie, it was a privilege.
We are part of history.
For us to be part of that history. But then all of us now need to make sure that we sustain it and we keep it consistent so that it can blossom fully into all of the beautiful ideas that you have that will benefit us as Ghanaians, it will benefit our government, it will benefit the diplomats themselves, it will benefit the sub-region, it will benefit Africa.
Yeah.
And guess what? It will benefit the world.
That's the whole idea.
Wow.
Well, Hobby, last word.
So I think that what I would tell you is that, first of all, congratulations, and again, protect your mind on this journey. Because we know our environment, and we know, I mean, when people start beautiful projects, the hindrances and all that. So first of all, protect your mind and be ready to fight on. Again, I'm also ready to support everything that you are doing. Let's build a beautiful relationship. And to the viewers, entertainment is good. All these things are good. But if there's also a cause like this, let's try as much as possible to support a worthy cause. That's very important, because we could, I mean, put everything, all the beautiful ideas, but if the viewers and the consumers are also not ready to come on board, that would be also another problem. So if you are watching this conversation, tell a friend that next year we are coming out big, we are coming out mega. Make sure that you are part of the history.
Absolutely.
So that one day, even when you need a favor or a support or something, probably have a concept. I think from the preamble you said that a lot of people have beautiful ideas, but how to present it, the connection to even get to these people, it's a problem. So watch this program, know the whole narrative and the structure of the program, so that if you have any beautiful idea that you want to share with any ambassador, whether the person is in Ghana or outside Ghana, this program will bring out that fruit. God bless you.
Wow. Well. It looks like my guests have said it all. There is nothing left for me to say, so I'm just going to say thank you very much, for without you, we wouldn't have gotten to this far. Your interest in what we do is amazing. People share ideas with us without even asking. I mean, they just share those beautiful ideas with us and sometimes point out to us some directions that we should embark on. And I think it is beautiful. I have had your support all throughout, not just me, but I also have an amazing team. Amazing team. And I thank Pan-African Television for the opportunity given us. Let me just also use this opportunity as I wrap up to say that if you have any idea, it is not the platform that makes you. What are you also bringing to the table? Because you could have someone working with Barclays Bank and they may never be known as an individual. You could have someone working with a rural bank somewhere, stationed somewhere, and they are making impacts and they are receiving, you know, honors and all of that. So if you have ideas, please do not limit yourself to any thinking that they will give you what you have to do. Yes, we need all the support, but what are you also bringing to the table? Finally, a night with a diplomat is for you. And I can't wait for all of us to convene in one space and, of course, talk, network, and all of that. And thank you very much for watching Diplomatic Affairs. This is the last episode for 2021. Yes, like I said, we should have pumped champagne. But we look forward to opening 2022 with you, where we go back to the drawing board, do our homework, and then, you know, get all the things that we didn't get right this time around and do them even much more bigger, just because we know you are always watching us, so we can't fail. We have no room to fail, and we thank you for that. Amma Pratt is the general manager for Pan-African Television, my one and only boss, my friend, an awesome person, and we are grateful to you for your time. Yesterday we were here last night for Carol service, and we didn't have enough sleep. Yes, it was big. Carol service on our platform, it was very big, and I am still on air. And Kobe Diplomatic. Kobe is an influential blogger, of course, amazing. I love the fact that Kobe is doing something that most bloggers have not even thought of. And by doing so, he has carved a niche for himself. Here we are. He's on the diplomatic platform, and we are talking about diplomacy. Why? Because he took the step to do something that many people have not even thought of. So, Kobe, we are grateful to you for coming to share with us your insights on this entire project that we are embarking on. And we are very grateful because you gave us lots of publicity and we are trending. So that's why it's good to have friends who can always, you know, help you to progress in life. So thank you very much for coming when we called you. All right. And to you, we love you and we owe everything that we are to you. Merry, Merry, Merry Christmas, people. Merry Christmas.
The Progressive Woman's Show is that space for frank, open, honest, provocative, perhaps even revolutionary conversations about today's woman.
If you go to the banking sector, there are people there who want to sleep with you before they give you a job. If you want to be a teacher, if you want to be a civil servant, there is someone who will say, oh, I can get it for you easily. All you have to do is drop your pen.
It was something that was demanded of me. My editor, my news editor in the newsroom, thought if I don't pull down my skirt, I was not going to be put on air.
I am yet to come into contact with anybody asking me to sleep with him to go on TV. I will not sleep with any man for a position. I will sleep with the man I want to sleep with for the pleasure of it.
When governments come to power and they say that the women are not showing dynamism and the women, for me all that, forgive my Latin, this time of the day, all that is bullshit.
I practice public speaking in church. Okay. I practice service in church. I practice leadership in church. So those are things that's why the church is important in our lives.
And that's how you do it. It's not buy Range Rover and do soccer in church.
It takes me right
in church.
You mention Jesus, you don't have to say Jesus.
Well, they say it's a man's world out there, isn't it? Unfortunately, I don't know. We seem to be doing all the work. They are the head and we are the neck. Excuse me, can you be a head without a neck?
No, please. No, please.
Yeah.
Well, hey, ladies, let's continue to hold up the sky.
Polygamy does not know adultery. So you should
polygamy knows. I disagree.
Wait a minute.
Polygamy
Wait a minute.
If you are not 25, you have no business driving a commercial vehicle. The only person who can take your driver's license and retain it must be a police officer of the rank of inspector and above.
Using office hours to engage in social media is a ground for you to be what? Dismissed.
When you are raped, you can justifiably walk into any government hospital or a licensed medical facility for an abortion.
A will takes effect only after the person is dead.
Pure cocaine is not addictive. What is addictive is when it's adulterated.
Join the Law Express panel this and every week as we delve into all these relevant topics.
Law Express, Mondays at 7:15 p.m. and a repeat on Thursdays at 5:45 p.m.
Truly African.
Adabraka Market is the third established market in the Greater Accra region of Ghana, aside Makola and Slaga markets. Yes, interesting, right? It was then established in 1927 by Sir Gordon Godgesbeck. It's only on market stories that you can be educated like this. Like we do all the time, we bring you all the details concerning our market, from infrastructure to storage facilities, pricing, bargaining, in fact, a lot and a lot more. I know we don't want to miss the fun aspect of it. Just come with me as we get interactive with our market men. Let's go. Okay, like I said, we keep on learning, and every day we learn new things. I like what I'm seeing over here. Yes, I know you would love to see it too. Yes, it's more or less like a fish market at the Adabraka market. I have with me here the queen mother of this place, and you know we never and ever disappoint. So come with me and let's listen to what she has to say about Adabraka market, the history behind Adabraka market, and a lot more. Ma, Bachet Singh.
Yeah,
first.
Adiza Kadiri.
Missy Yashon, ya bressa, ya fahani, ya fire, cheese, and Yamia drum, Yabimuno.
Yamiase.
Honey,
Nagodi. And the bad ladder, Yamiase. Market no na
ma me meka den o ka na go den chesen
me dase
okay ntimi meka say me so ene wo dase de no ano no oh okay na ma ahaya da Braka market your friend then your friend at the Braka market then tinai at the Braka market we are pin mother obetimi afa
well first no you feel albaraka adi aye albaraka adi afaso woso and the amakro no ndi ye market kitwe bi first brema no market wo ho market wo kuruma tan kura market wo ho ansana yefu ye de nam no ba ye de ko na kire we rollers say ye pe baby atena rollers ba no ye pe baby atena no say o oba hwe baby amaye ye pe hin we say we de ya kwa gogoroshi say mpa gogoroshi ye pe ha asoro oba ye ha maye and a friend at Braka market Dini na Abraka market.
Say Adabraka.
Adabraka market.
Okay. Adia edin.
Adia ye. Adia fast also. Utuwa a common deal. Albaraka.
To ha a common deal.
Roni na Adabraka. Albaraka. Ya pepe mo albaraka. Adabraka.
Bama ye buy you say moton nam pa wo ha nam bebre nam ko na moton wa because nam wo ha pa moton nam wa
nam nko na eton wa ha ntuba Monday dia unya kwa agu nko
okay ai agu nko mi kwa me hu bi practice okay I had no problems ben am wo mo problems bi there
program ne say first nam no bo no e wo fam okay say nam no no akofo soro de kodi a ma kwaso no say petrol first no ya fa nkoda na onum ko hare kuro no na onum ko hare na say no ontime ko fa bi ba say o ma hare just what of petrol asa na bati ma kwaso so na ekase enunti ama nam no ani lord fa ne ma e badru ha na no boy de na nka petrol no akofa ma yen kakra na ka wonu so ba hwe yen kakra ko be kantan ba ko pa na wo ho no hwe no pa dudu wonu hu
so mo de ba ha no ma be yi wa
no asara wonu ba kokko so akoto
okay ba me sha ha no shells na wo ne de okay mam
say that say
because me ba ha no so ye neat na e ba ne say mo ye de na mo keep ha no neat sa because I neat pa
say adisa wo huru ho
so mo ejuma mo ina ba no ma hokoro oh that's fine
say ampo say ba share no way task okay na ya fa usa ha ya share task
wow
yeah
mo task now in fact I love the environment. It's really clean, it's really nice and very hygienic. It's very clean. Just come to Adabraka market and come and buy from here, come and buy from our market women, okay? Ma nti edure no mbre pese me hu se na mo ye market no na wontu ntumi kan cha man for more other market ni say na wasam mo ye mu dikipim because ye come market ni bia e ho nye neat kra nti then na mo ye o ha mutumi keep her fine no na waka cha other people say mo so mo nya sa
other people no e be ho kwa cha no won ade nti obade wa atam won ade e bia wo se de oti won ade